Good afternoon everybody, my name's Sam Sloan. I thought I'd share another video with you, this time looking at breakout rooms. Get an awful lot of questions from facilitators just asking how they work, how they can work seamlessly rather than be a little bit disjointed sometimes. And just simple things like how to set them up and how to kind of move people between them, and also how you can go and physically join that breakout room yourself as well. So I've loaded in two separate computers this time. So we have ZZ Sam, and we also have ZZ Sam's big laptop, so I can determine which one is actually going to go off into each of those rooms. So let's just have a look at the breakout rooms option on the very bottom toolbar when of course you're the host. So you click on that option and there are two options. You can either do it manually or you can do it automatically. The automatic way is pretty obvious. It's going to create those for you and it's going to allocate everybody that's in this particular session into a breakout room. However, manually you have a lot more choice and a lot more options in regards to who it is that you send in, or of course not send in, as the case may be. So 2 participants per room. I'm going to want 2 rooms, so that's going to be 1 participant per room because obviously I've only got 2 people in this particular session. So let's just create the rooms. So what it will have done is it's created 1 room, so I could rename that room if I wish to, or I can delete it if I've maybe set up too many. Or of course I can do exactly the same with breakout room 2. Or of course I can assign an individual to go into that room. So I now have a choice on who it is that I put in. So let's just say I select ZZ Sam to go in there. And in breakout room number 2 I assign ZZ Sam big laptop to go in that one. What I can do is if I wanted to, I could add a room as well, if of course there are additional people, for instance, if I haven't quite selected that correct. And if you go to options here, you've got various different options in regards to moving them around, allowing participants to come back into the main room at any time, those types of things, which actually are really quite useful. So that's in the options little tab. So if I now go to open the rooms, just look at what happens differently now. So I have 2 other choices now that have come up. The delegates have gone off into their breakout rooms separately and they'll be prompted to kind of unmute their mics, etc. when they get in there, for instance. But what if I wanted to broadcast a message to everybody just to say, hello, I don't know, you have 5 minutes, for instance, and I can broadcast that message, and that goes to everybody in all of the breakout rooms. Or what if I actually want to go and join them? I can do that as well. So I can go and physically join that particular breakout room. I'm not going to click it because I'll disappear off. And of course then go and join that particular cohort, for instance, that's working on whatever it is that they're working on in that particular room. Come back into the main room and I can then go and join that particular other breakout room. Or what the other thing that I can do is as well, if you hover over the name of the individual, I can move them. So let's just say ZZ Sam, in that particular room they were working on something and I wanted to bring everybody back together as one big team after 5 minutes, for instance. I can move a delegate live into the other breakout room number 1. They'll all then pop into there and they can continue to work. So things like roving flip chart activities, for instance, that we do in the training room, you can actually go and get the group back together. You could have one team working on one and then allow another team members to actually go and join them and maybe add their thoughts, etc. That type of thing. I find that works quite well. I'd then broadcast a message just to say that we were going to obviously end the breakout room, for instance, and then I'd close all of the rooms and that will give you a 15-second countdown. The learners can actually leave the rooms just by simply clicking on the prompt when they're ready to come back into the main room as well. So that's just a very, very whistle-stop tour on breakout rooms. As you can see now, they're just coming back into the main room. And what I will do as well, I'll do another separate video on things like whiteboards. How can you bring whiteboards back into the main room and have your delegates actually share their content that they have created? And I'll do another video for that. So guys, have a fantastic evening. Thanks for listening.